The coronavirus is here, and the safe thing to do for most of us is to isolate ourselves, to self-quarantine. But how do you do that without going crazy? In this video, you're going to learn 10.1 habits to help you stay sane during the coronavirus isolation period. Now, isolation is different. Most of us have never gone through that before. It's a change of lifestyle. Anytime you go through a change of lifestyle, it's easy to change your habits. And that can mean getting better habits or worse habits. You get married, you move, you go to college, habits change. This is one of these opportunities. So here are habits I think are going to help you the most during this time period. Habit number 1, limit your news consumption to 30 minutes a day. Yes, you need to know what your government is asking you to do. You need to know if there's some change in policy, if it's no longer safe to go out. But you can learn that by reading news 15 minutes a day in the morning, 15 minutes at night. You can stay up to date. The idea that you need to monitor cable news, read every news site all day long, it's going to drive you crazy. My recommendation, limit yourself to no more than 30 minutes of news consumption. You can still be a good citizen. You'll know what's important by reading the news, but the rest of the time, use this time for real entertainment. Watch some of the greatest movies ever made. Learn something new in a skill on YouTube. Don't obsess over the news. Don't wallow in it. It will just depress you. And whatever you do, don't start watching cable TV news. You can get all the essential news you need from a reputable text newspaper online. You don't need to watch cable TV news. It will just scare you. Habit number 2, call a friend, a client, a customer, a colleague, someone you care about, and speak to them through video. Now is the perfect time to really connect with people on Skype, on Zoom, on FaceTime. We have such an advantage over people who went through the Spanish flu epidemic in 1918. They truly were isolated. Now we can talk to family, friends, employees, co-workers, colleagues, the greater community we're a part of all over the world, and we can do it by talking to people. It's not together in the same room, but it's so much more powerful than just sending a text. Let people know you care about them and speak to them directly. If you're afraid that you don't look good on video or Zoom, don't care about that. Let people hear your voice. It will make you feel better and them feel better too. Habit number 3, do something, even if it's 5 minutes a day, to actively help your career. Unfortunately for a lot of people now, they've lost their jobs. Don't sit around just worrying about it. Redo your resume today. If you have a business but growth looks like it's going to be gone for a long time, think of a new strategy, think of a new plan. Now's a perfect time to build an online course, write an ebook, do something to monetize your expertise. We don't know what's going to happen in the future, but there is zero risk of you spending some time to build your skills, to build your resume, to build your intellectual property. So spend some time, even if it's only 5 minutes, working on developing your career today during this crisis. Habit number 4, continue to do all the normal good habits that you have that you can do at home. If you meditate every day, don't stop now just because it seems like the world is crazy. If you normally avoid drinking soft drinks, don't start drinking soft drinks now. If you normally don't eat junk food, don't start eating junk food now. Continue to do all the normal good habits you have on a regular basis. Habit number 5, do at least some light exercise every day. You may be someone who goes to the gym every day, you may run marathons, you might not do anything. Either way, it's going to make you feel better, it's going to make you sleep better if you get some light exercise a day. It doesn't matter If you're on a big estate or a tiny one-room studio apartment, you can still do stretching exercises. You can still do sit-ups. I start each day doing jumping jacks. Do some form of exercise, but be careful. If you've never exercised at all, don't start doing something really strenuous. Don't run on a treadmill 10 miles an hour for an hour. You don't want to do anything that is going to require medical attention or having to go to an emergency room in a time like this. But I urge you, don't just be the couch potato sitting in your pajamas all day long. Do something, even if it's in your pajamas, to get some light exercise every single day while you are isolated at home. Habit number 6, don't snack. I realize in this time where nerves are frayed, it's going to be soothing to sit back, eat that extra bowl of ice cream, eat that so-called comfort food. Here's the problem. Even if you don't exercise much, you are going to be burning so many fewer calories if you're staying at home, if you're isolating, if you're self-quarantining. You're simply taking fewer steps. If you normally go out to a gym, you're not doing that now. Your body needs fewer calories. I'm not saying try to lose 20 pounds during this crisis. What I am suggesting is your body is going to need fewer calories. So just to stay the same weight as you are now, you need to eat fewer calories. So stop snacking. You don't need to snack. If you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you don't need to snack right now because you're going to be burning fewer calories than ever. Habit number 7. This is crucial, and this might not occur to a lot of you, but in some family members it's a big deal. Habit number 7, monitor your drinking carefully. Many people who normally abstain or who drink very moderately find themselves more nervous than usual, understandable, more time on their hands, and it's just easier to have one drink, go to a second drink, go to a third drink. Here's a reminder. The mainstream medical establishment says it's perfectly healthy for the average weight man to have 2 drinks a day and for the average woman to have 1 drink a day. Okay, so that means I get to have 2 of these, right? One problem. This glass has 10 ounces, so when you're at home pouring your own drink, you really have to monitor your portion size. If I have 2 glasses this size, I'm now drinking twice as much alcohol as I should have according to mainstream medical science. If you were a woman and you have this, you're drinking even 1 glass, you're drinking twice as much as you should. You're only supposed to have 5 ounces. That's a glass of wine. That's considered, this is 10 ounces. So you need to monitor that. And maybe you think, well, I enjoy a cocktail. I enjoy a cocktail from time to time. So maybe if I should just limit myself to 1 cocktail, I'll be fine. Here's the problem. This is a standard martini-sized drink. It holds 8 ounces. The medical definition of a drink is 1.5 ounces. So even as a man who can perhaps drink more, this is 8 ounces. This is nearly 3 days the amount of alcohol I should drink and stay safe. This is more than 5 days worth of alcohol for the typical woman to drink. So do what I do. If you're pouring yourself a drink at home, actually use a tumbler to measure. 1 drink is 1.5 ounces. If you're drinking 2 drinks, that's a 2 ounce and a 1 ounce. It's very easy to fool yourself and think, oh, I'm only having 1 drink. But if you have 3 ounces, 6 ounces, 9 ounces in 1 cup, that's way, way too much, and you can start a very bad habit during this time of crisis. So monitor carefully how much you drink. Habit number 8, read something new every day that isn't news, that's nonfiction, where you're learning something. Learn something new, whether it helps you learn more about a hobby, an art, a craft, or your profession. Keep your brain nimble. Keep your brain learning more and more, and you will not regret it. It's much better than watching the 100th story of the same hysteria on news where you can't do anything about it. Habit number 9. Spend some time each day, even if it's 5 minutes, creating something new. Do a drawing, do a doodle, draw a family member, write one page on that novel you said you've been working on for years. Create something. Doesn't have to be anything you sell, doesn't have to be anything you show to the world. Create it just for yourself. You will feel better at the end of the day on how you've spent your time. It's much better to use and develop creative energy than to just fixate on how negative the news is and the state of the world. Habit number 10, try to maintain normal bedtime hours and normal routines. In times like this, it's so easy to say, well, I'm not getting up for work, I'm not getting up for school, let me watch one more movie. Next thing you know, it's 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, your whole body clock has changed, you're lethargic all day long. It's even another excuse not to exercise. Maintain regular bedtime hours. I'm not recommending that you necessarily use an alarm clock in the morning, but try to go to bed at a normal time, get a full night's sleep. That way, mentally, you'll feel much better, much stronger, and more upbeat. Finally, that final added habit, the 10.1 habit tip, tell a family member you're with right now that you love them. In times like this, we can get on each other's nerves. Let's face it. You can get on people's nerves, they can get on your nerves. If you are with family members now, living with other people, it's going to be easier and easier to annoy people, tensions, fights, dissension. Stop right now and tell just one family member, at least, that you love them. And it's going to make you feel better, and it's going to make you feel better too. Now, these are all good habits. Most of them are good for any time, crisis or non-crisis. But learning about habits is easy. Actually implementing it is sometimes hard. I want to share with you the technique that I find is most effective for most people, myself included. Just go to your cell phone, go to the audio record section, and make a little memo. Voice memo on my phone, you may have one, and just talk to yourself. Tell yourself the daily habits you want. If you tell yourself, I am going to exercise for 5 minutes every day and do light stretching exercises, record it. Record all of the habits you want to do, and it could take just a couple of minutes. I listen to an audio recording every day of every single habit that I do on a regular basis. And I just hit one click and I listen to it first thing in the morning. It's a great cue, it's a great trigger, it's a great reminder for you to fulfill those habits. And it's a way for you to market to yourself the habits you want to fulfill. I'm TJ Walker. I wish the best for you and your family and the world in getting through this crisis. Good luck. Well, that's all I've got for now. I've got to run. But you can join me daily on these platforms. And please follow me there if you haven't done so. I'm TJ Walker. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you soon.